Also where our career center is. They put on 2 career fairs a year, as well as do like resume prep, interview prep. So right here is the 86 field, donated by the class of 1986, or 1886. And it used to be our football field, but we've since upgraded and have the whole East Campus Athletic Village. We have a football field, our D1 hockey stadium, like basketball courts and everything is up there. Now we use this field for things like freshman orientation. They put a big tent up and like do a speech on the field and different activities. As well as our club fair. We have over 200 clubs on campus, and they all have like tables. You kind of put your name down for a lunch and then see what you like the best. And then over there is the 87 gym, during the class of 1887 to one up the field. But it's one of our more recreational gyms on campus. Our main one is one you can see on the academic floor. And there's like a rock climbing wall, indoor track and stuff like that. And then across the way is Ricketts, which is the home to chemical engineering. But that just means that the chemical engineering professors have their offices in there. You guys still have classes in there. I had like Health 2 in there. So when I say like it's the home to a department, that just means that's where the professors have offices. That doesn't mean only chemical engineers are in there. Keep walking this way. So yeah, like on 6-4, and that's just because you come out with like your accreditation in architecture. So for the most part, like I have never heard of anybody not getting their bachelor's degree in 4 years. People graduate on time, often early too, depending on like what credits you bring in from high school. You have like EP classes, end up with like an 8 a.m. if that's not what you want, or like a late class or something. There's like a website you can go on and select all the classes you need, and then it shows you all like the different time options, and you can just click through and figure it out, as well as meet with your academic advisor online, like over Zoom or something. So it's not like scary, it's actually like a cool freedom that we have. Most of my other friends from high school, they like got assigned their schedule for semester. The Troy building says civil engineering because that was our first major on campus, but now it's just home to the president and provost's offices, as well as some classes, like sometimes I know computer science labs happen in that building. Does anybody have any questions about anything so far? I want to make this as like helpful to you as possible.
Nope.
School, so like economics. We even have a business school, which its building is down there. Actually, if you follow me, I can show you like a better view of it. But that is called the Lawley School of Management. So we have majors like economics and management, as well as ones like information technology and web science, which is like a combination of computer science and technology, and as well as management and business. So we have a lot of like integrated majors here, which is really cool. And a lot of ones that people end up dual majoring with. I know like electrical engineering ends up a lot with computer systems engineering, mechanical a lot ends up with aerospace. Those are common like duals because so many classes overlap that it makes sense to do both if you want to. And the way that would work is like, if for example, if you're a mechanical engineering major and you wanted to do the aerospace dual, your mechanical engineering classes that are like your electives would just be like aerospace classes. We also have an accelerated master's program. So what that is you can stay 1 extra year after your 4 years of bachelor's and get your master's degree. It's really nice because A, it's only 1 extra year, and B, the financial aid is still really good. So that's a great option. I'm currently considering doing that. I plan to do my master's, deciding if I want to do it here or not. But you can do your master's in something different than your undergrad. For example, I could do biomedical engineering as my undergrad and mechanical as my master's if I want. Yeah, we're approaching like a really good view of downtown Troy and like the edge of campus. Walker labs. So if you're taking like chemistry or biology, you'll probably have labs in there, whether that be like wet hands-on labs or computational labs. Then Pittsburgh is the home to the Lally School of Management, which I was talking about earlier. This is Carnegie, which is the home to cognitive science. I know on the 3rd floor they have like student-run testing and like different studies that they do. And then you can't really see it, but behind Pittsburgh, there's another building called West Hall, which is home to our music department. So you can take like music classes as part of Haas. I had a friend who took Western music for fun. But we also have different like extracurricular groups like a cappella, theater, bands, pep band. 3 credits of lecture and then 1 credit of lab. Almasine is actually a co-founder of RPI, but Rensselaer had the money, so he got the name of the school. Almasine got a building. I had my like intro to engineering analysis class in there freshman year. And then Raleigh is the home to computer science as well, because computer science is the largest major on campus. Desk is, there's also a cafe. And then if you go up to the 3rd and the 4th floor, there's a bunch of open tables, all the books, all the study rooms. The study rooms are nice. The larger ones you like reserve online. The smaller ones are first come, first serve. And then downstairs has our Student Success Center. So we have a writing help desk and a math help desk that like run all day. So if you ever need to like write something or like do a project, those are helpful to go to. We also have peer tutoring, so that's by a student who has previously taken the same class and got an A in it. Those have drop-in hours 7 to 9 during the week at good night. And that's really helpful because the other students have taken it maybe with the same teacher, so they know how to like really study for the class, what kind of questions you might be asked. And I found that really helpful. I've been there quite a few times for a bunch of different classes. And those are nice to go to in addition to like professor office hours or TA office hours. All of our classes are taught by professors who have like their PhD. And then most classes, especially the larger ones, have TAs who are grad students currently getting their PhD. And then some also have undergrad TAs as well. So yeah, that's mostly with the library. And then across the way is the GCC, the Computing Center. So that is where the quantum computer is in that building. It also is where our software and hardware help desks are. So if your computer breaks or you need help downloading something, you would go into there. Basically all the buildings have printers in them, including the dorms, but the GCC has printers for like larger things like big poster boards and stuff. And then RPI also has a program where you can buy your computer through RPI. They're all like ThinkPad laptops. There's 3 different options. And the nice thing about that is that they're insured for all 4 years. So if you break it while you're here, you can take it there and they fix it for free and give you a loaner in the meantime. I did do that program and I have found it helpful. Last year my computer just like stopped charging randomly and I brought it there and they fixed it and everything was super easy. You can obviously try to help with other laptops, but they're like more specialized than the ones that like RPI. Building. The walls like are really interestingly shaped, like maximizing acoustics. You can see like the supports at the top. It's like for vibration and stuff. But it's a really cool way to see like how the arts and like music has integrated with technology. I'd say about 50% of undergrads participate in research, so it is pretty big on campus if that's something you're interested in. Really, research in all departments is going on. I have a friend who's studying like cell movement and biomechanics. I'm currently attending lab meetings for one that's doing tissue regeneration. So a lot of cool stuff. There is research on the quantum computer as well. And you can do that for experience, but you can also do it for credit or for pay, which are typically more common. And that's nice to like get rewarded for your efforts. I'll also mention it is really easy to get a part-time job on campus. You don't have to like be a part of work study or anything. I have bounced this from my friends. A lot of campuses it is difficult to find an on-campus job if you're not a part of work study. But here there's plenty, like tour guiding is a job, obviously research is a job. You can work at like the gym and the check-in desk. Pretty much everybody I know has like some sort of job. Even the peer tutoring like that is paid for the tutors. So that's really nice. Cogswell is the home to chemistry. So like there's different labs in there as well as the professors' offices. And then this building, kind of currently blocked by a tree, is JRL. It's home to physics. So on this side you can kind of see like the astronomy tower up there. We do have a telescope and an astrophysical society that can use that whenever they want. There are open hours for everybody else as well. And then the other side, it looks like an aviation control tower. It's actually just a lounge. So a lot of physics students like to hang out up there. But physics is a class that does have a lab, but it's different than chemistry and biology in that the lab is actually part of the class. So you show up for your 2-hour block, have classes that you do. You can see CBIS. CBIS is where we started. We'll loop to engineering building and then I'll bring you back there. But CBIS is a building it's a biotech building. And it was donated so that we only use it for research. So a lot of really cool research goes on there. That's where like the regenerative medicine and the more bio-focused ones happen. But there's more like mechanical focused ones that would happen in the engineering building. And then the other building back there is Academy Hall. That is where the financial aid office is. It's also where the health center is. So if you ever are sick, you can go in there, you make an appointment, and they can like test you for anything like strep or whatever, prescribe you medicine. They also have a counseling center with both drop-in and appointment hours. So that's always available as well. I have used that. I have like gotten sick on campus and had to go there, but they've always been super helpful and give me in like right that day. And then it's also our office for first year experience. I think RPI does a really good job for freshman experience. We have an orientation like right before classes start where you actually pick 2 blocks to attend, and each block is ran by a club. So you're automatically connected to a club on campus, an upperclassman on campus, doing something that you enjoy. So I mentioned that club called like the Forge that has the 3D printers and stuff. And then for their session, we were able to use like their laser cutter and like make a little pendant. So that was cool. I got like some advice about classes and stuff like that. And then the other cool thing is about a week before classes start, you can sign up to go on a trip. And the one that I went on went to Connecticut for 2 nights, and we stayed at like a summer camp. So we slept in like cabins, we did, you know, archery, waterfront, your typical camp things. And it was really fun because you were with a bunch of other freshmen. And it felt like you were making like summer camp friends, but really you're making friends at RPI. And that is where I met my main friend group that I'm still friends with today. So I highly recommend it. You don't have to go on the trip, but it is available. And there are more outdoorsy options like tent camping and whitewater rafting. I wanted a working bathroom, so that's why I chose the one I did, but there are a lot of options for that. Named after Eric Johnson, who's an alumni and also the co-founder of Texas Instruments, so like your calculators. The engineering building is home to all types except for chemical, which I mentioned earlier, the industrial, which is that really tall building over there. And then each floor is a different type of engineering.